Hi there, everybody. My name is Megan Gidcombe, and I'm the reading specialist here at Heritage Lakes, and I will be working with your third grader in reading intervention this year. This short video is a little bit of a substitute for curriculum night because I know many of you are unable to come down and see me on curriculum night because you will be with your child's teacher, which is super important. So, that being said, I'm just going to do a quick overview of our scope and sequence for the year. Third grade is very different in reading intervention than second grade because we take a step away from those basic foundational skills of reading such as phonics and sight words. And although we still use those skills in reading and we still teach them, they are not as big of a focus of our reading intervention. And we really start to focus more on big picture fluency and the reason we read, which is comprehension. So for comprehension, we'll start September off, just a basic retell. Can you remember what you read in the text and those habits of reading in school and at home? Remember, your child is still accountable for reading 20 minutes at home every night. And that is the best way that they can become a better reader. That 20 minutes is not just something I randomly picked. That is research-based as the amount of minutes that someone needs to read at the very minimum to increase their reading ability. So 20 minutes is super, super important. In October, we'll shift to asking questions, so they have to ask questions about the text, as well as answering inferential questions with text evidence. In November and December, we'll move into text features of nonfiction informational text. For example, can your child understand a graph and use the information in the graph to help them understand the rest of the text? In January, we will be focusing on inferring the meaning of words in text. So if they come to a word that they don't know before because they never have heard it, they don't know that vocabulary word, can they, without having to look it up in a dictionary, for example, which would be the old school way, or asking Siri, can they figure out what that word means based upon the context clues of the other words in the book or in the passage? In February, we continue our study of inferring word meaning, but we also move to inferring phrase meaning. And this is where we kind of tackle those abstract words such as similes and metaphors and things like that. Can they understand what those mean and what the author's trying to convey by using those types of figurative language? In March, we will be inferring the main idea of text, and in April and May, we really will be focusing on inferring big central lessons. This is a huge, huge skill, and really this is our takeaway from books. Why is the author writing this? What does the author want to teach us about how to be a better person about life? So those are our comprehension skills in third grade reading intervention. Your child will see me in third grade every day for 20 minutes. All third graders as a big, large group. This right now, I have 11, will come to me for fluency checks and some independent practice for 20 minutes on Mondays. And then we'll kind of break down into smaller groups Tuesday through Friday, but they will continue in 20 minutes. So our lessons will be focused on more comprehension than in second grade, which was very much geared towards word study. But again, we will still continue to work on our word study and work on our ability to read fluently. Again, your child is responsible for reading at least 20 minutes of independent level text at home. So this is not a text that's too tricky. For example, your child should not be checking out Harry Potter and bringing that home to read for their 20 minutes. That's not their independent level. If it were, they probably wouldn't need to be coming to see me for a little bit of a reading boost. So do keep that in mind. If you're not quite sure if your child's reading at their independent level, you can just sit next to them and have them read with you. And if the text they bring home is too tricky, try not to make it a fight. Maybe just do a little bit of I read and you read. So maybe you read a few paragraphs and they read a couple sentences. Or you can read a couple paragraphs and they can repeat. Or you could read chorally at the same time. Those are just some ideas if your child does come home with a book that's a little too hard for them. And let's see, I'm trying to think. For assessments to monitor their progress, we will still be using Fountas and Pinnell, which will give us a reading level. So that will be occurring every couple of months. Your child will be, I call it leveled. So I listen to them read and I ask them a series of comprehension questions. The test is given one-on-one, and then to check in on their progress, we will be doing fluency checks. And it's not necessarily about like, oh, read faster. How many words can you read in a minute? It's more if your child is reading at a speed that is much too slow for their age-appropriate level. What we know is there's something else going on, and we know that they will be unable to keep up in class and comprehend the text that their teacher is putting in front of them at a speed that their teacher is expecting. So our whole purpose of fluency is not to get them to read faster. It's so that I can get a quick 1-minute snapshot of listening to your child read, and I can kind of do an analysis and see what your child's strengths are and what their deficits are and how we can begin to fill those holes. So do keep in mind, although we report fluency as a words per minute, it is not my goal to make them speed readers. It is my goal to have them deeply comprehend. So I hope this helps you get an idea of what we will be working on in third grade reading intervention. Thanks. Have a great day.